Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to do a quick little video talking about the M&P Shield. Now this was the first gun that I kind of came across that was like the big popular slim line single stack 9mm pistol that actually got like a little bit of traction. There was kind of some other ones out there like Core, I think kind of was like the more prolific one before this thing kind of came on the scene. And then once this thing came on the scene, this was kind of like the thing to beat. Then you had a whole bunch of other gun manufacturers trying to kind of come up with their own version that kind of made this gun a little bit perfected. And then kind of the question, because I'm not really going to talk about this gun in particular, just kind of the M&P Shield line in general and whether or not it still kind of holds a candle in kind of the community or in kind of your repertoire of guns availability kind of thing. So let's kind of jump into it. So this one we've had for, this is not mine, this is actually my mom's, kind of her backup pistol and stuff like that, which she carries in a Blade Tech inside the waistband holster. So for what it's worth. But these guns, or this gun in particular, we've had for a number of years. I don't really recall when. They were having a sale and we bought this thing for like $300, probably a little bit less. So I don't know, we've had it for at least 5-6 years, something like that. I've put a decent amount of rounds through it. She has not. She's kind of moved on to the MP Compact, the 2.0. I think it's a better gun for her to shoot and stuff like that. And then we'll get into the reasons why, but so just kind of whatever. I don't really know the gun, the round count. It's at least a couple thousand, not a whole lot. But that's why I'm just going to talk about this kind of gun in general, not this specific weapon. So does it still hold a candle in today's market with all these other slim micro pistols, kind of thing like the SIG 365 and the Glock 43 or the 42 or the 43X or the 48 or other guns that I can't really remember. So that's where we're going to kind of dive into. So this thing with the extended base plate on it is a, what is this thing, 8 rounds. So that's not bad. And if you put it in, it does give you a full firing grip. Now without the extended base plate on the damn thing, your pinky is going to hang off a little bit. Not a big deal, you know, especially if it's supposed to be kind of that slim line, very highly concealable type of gun that kind of makes sense for that kind of motif. The thing that I really don't like about the grip is that they made it almost too skinny. As you can see, it's almost pointy in a sense, where it's not really rounded. It's almost more oval to the point where it's just kind of uncomfortable to hold in your hand. It's not like like I would choose the blocky brick of a Glock compared to this fucking thing, personally. I don't know, because if you're gonna go small and skinny, you have to be more rounded, and to me, I don't know, it's just not the most comfortable grip kind of thing. You know, to each their own, but so that's kind of just my personal opinion on the grip. Not a big fan. The texture is not great. This is not the 2.0. I think the 2.0 actually is a little bit better because it does have that more of that sandpaper type grit on it. But this thing, I don't know, feels like a fucking soap bar, especially because these small compact 9mm are so fucking snappy too, because they have to be, because they're just so small and light. It doesn't make the gun the most shootable gun out there, and that's why my mom later transitioned into the the compact 2.0. So it kind of is what it is. And also for left-handers, this gun is very not left-handed friendly. The magazine release is fine, that works all good. The slide release, slide stop is just a bitch to get that fucking thing to lock from that angle. It just don't work. On that side, it's completely fine because you can get that leverage with your thumb. It's so like low profile to the fucking slide that you can't get it to fucking lock back. So it's kind of a pain in the fucking dick. You can do it. It just sucks dick. There we go. Finally, I fucking got it. So big fucking negative in my opinion for that gun. That I just get, so basically, if I was using this thing, I would kind of treat it like a revolver in a sense, where this is kind of a last-ditch effort. I got my 8 rounds, which you're probably not going to get 8 into that bitch, you know, because that magazine is a mother to fill it to full capacity. So it's kind of that revolver rule where gun goes dry, maybe I get separated from it, maybe it gets damaged, whatever gets taken, blah, blah, blah. I got a backup, you know, I got 8 rounds to do whatever the fuck I need to. And then once this fucking thing is empty, I'm throwing it at the bitch because yeah, this thing is just kind of So it is kind of what it is. Definitely would not recommend for the primary carry. I just don't recommend that shit. But other than that, this one does have the safety. Getting the safety off with your left hand, if you are left-handed, impossible. However, it is pretty positive, and that's why my mom kind of carried it. It made her feel a little bit safer as she was kind of getting into the role of, you know, concealed carry kind of thing. Because when you pull it out of the holster, I mean, it's right there, and it feels pretty positive. It doesn't feel like it's going to get swiped on or off. And again, once again, it's low profile as shit. So, I mean, I feel like I could get it pretty easy with that regard. But other than that, you know. And then the sights are perfectly fine. They're steel. You know, they're the 3-dot shit, so it kind of is what it is. And the trigger is fucking weird. It's kind of that heavier. It's much more positive than the 1.0 MMP triggers, but it's got this weird kind of heavy grittiness, and then it just breaks like a bitch. Like I don't really know. And then the reset, if you can hear. There it is. So it's got like almost 2-3 clicks in it, which again, this gun is really meant to be kind of your high accuracy pistol. Like I'm not going to really ride that reset for this gun's kind of role it's supposed to be like in, but I don't know, man. You think it could be better. You know, obviously there are much better pistols out there with better triggers in there, so kind of is what it is. Aftermarket support for this gun is actually not terrible comparatively to other guns. You can get sights, you can get triggers and shit in there, but you know, that's kind of all I really want to say about this gun. So after we kind of look at all of it, what do I think? Well, I still think it's a good gun. If you can find this thing for under $300 as a backup roll for 6 shots or something like that, however you need to put it so you can carry it as like a backup on your ankle or wherever the fuck, maybe even a pocket, honestly, with that fucking safety. If you're right-handed, you know, pull it out. I don't know, get creative with it. But as a primary carry, definitely would not recommend this damn thing. I just don't like it enough. However, I should say, with all the things I don't really care about it, it is a very, very, very reliable gun. And for a small, compact gun, sometimes those guns can get a little finicky with ammo. This thing pretty much shoots through everything, which is just kind of crazy, honestly, if you think about it. But yeah, as long as it's not primary carry and you're not left-handed, probably good to go. Also, for women, this is not a sexist sort of thing. This is just a thing. My mom has a very hard time pulling this back. And, you know, she's a young lady whippersnapper kind of thing. But even for her, even for me, honestly, it's a motherfucker to get a really good rip on it. Now, if you're in the heat of the moment kind of thing, yeah, you can probably rip the slide off pretty easy. But women, you know, loading in and trying to, you know, do this kind of thing, it's significantly harder for women to use it, which is why they made the Shield EZ models. And that's where I kind of think this thing gets completely decimated by its own updated version. The 2.0, the 9mm and the 380 EZ version of this gun, significantly better. It has a grip safety, which I don't really fucking care about, but I think that it's just a far and a better, much better gun. It's much easier to pull the slide back. The gun is just, I believe it's almost ambi too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but. And then, again, there's just much better fucking guns out there. The 43, the 43X, 48, my personal preference. Same size would be 43 or the 43X. Especially with the Shield Arms magazines that you can get for like 15 rounds in that motherfucker. Like, why the hell not? The 42, I've never been a big fan of. I've held one and it just felt like a fucking toy. And I'm just like, I don't really need this in my life. So I never really bothered with the 42. And plus 380 is more expensive than 9. So fuck it. Never really got into that. But otherwise, it's a solid fucking handgun. Really can't complain. Other than I just want to complain about it because I just don't like the features about it. But other than that, again, it's a solid gun. If you can find one, you know, they're kind of fun to have. They're not fun to shoot relative to other ones, but they make a nice little backup pistol if you're looking for one of those. That's kind of what it is. As long as you're not a female or a guy that's weak as shit or left-handed, they're pretty good handguns. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. 10 minutes exactly almost. And yeah, be good.